Hello, everyone. I'm a mathematician by training, and now currently I'm working in research laboratories in France and in Russia. It's scientific laboratories in physics, and I'm fascinated by this phenomenon of how different parts of networks, they can be connected by each other. And something which I cannot really live without is communicating about this. I'm really in love with making some science communication and talking about mathematics of networks in particular, to different people. But today I will present you not just a research question, and not a research project itself, but something which went beyond, for me, the research project. It's a project called Lectures Without Borders, which I co-founded in 2017. And this is a project which aims essentially on bridging the link between scientists and schools by linking together traveling scientists who travel a lot for their work with the local communities. And it all started when I was traveling, actually not for work, in Nepal, in its beautiful country. We were living in the medical association which brought us to schools. We had some time to rest, and actually at some point we started to communicate with children, and I started to explain them actually something which I was teaching my students in the university, and they were really, really good in answering the questions and everything. So this was something, the first insight which I got. And another insight was that there were so many students in the class. It was really full. And then when I came back to France, I couldn't forget this experience which I had there. I started to investigate, right? That's something which researchers, they try to get the data about it. And I understood also that there are a lot of teachers which are missing in the local communities, especially in remote areas where there are not so many people. And moreover, there are a lot of lack of resources, human resources in particular. So that's actually how Lectures Without Borders was born. The idea is very simple, that lecturers who travel around the world, they can connect to the local hubs. They will guide them to local associations which already do a great job, so we kind of bring the scientists in their hands and try to help them. So we started it, of course, by bridging this with the research networks, because there are a lot of research networks around the world, right? Whether it's Marie Curie, there are a lot of Max Planck institutes which I was participating in, and so this allowed us to connect these two networks, right? Because they're already connected researchers. It's a small world network, right? Everyone heard about 6 degrees of separation, that we all are connected. So this was the idea, but of course, how we started to go through that was thanks to all our partnerships with different associations, and we brought together people, like recently there were lectures from people from Greece, in Uganda, and today there is a lecture from French University in Tunisia, and this all started to emerge in a cost-effective way, thanks to the fact that already researchers are already traveling. So it's already there. So we just try to use this untapped opportunity to bring them all together. It's very challenging. We had zero funding, basically, for these 3 years. Just recently, we had some support from different research institutes because they think that this research-wise can work, and we try to also work and collect the data with Open Humans Foundation, just scrapping the data from OpenStreetMaps, which I was doing myself because I like to code. So this is something which I believe which can have more impact, and we can go beyond Asia and African countries and go also to South America, which we started with some countries there. This is something which started with a small school in Nepal. And this journey, I believe, can have a long way in order to break the borders, not just between the school education and scientists, because already people are already doing that, but also borders between different countries, right? I'm coming from the military scientific city in Russia, and actually nobody, even people whom I invite personally, cannot enter there. And this impression from the childhood, it really drives me in some sense, because I wanted it to go beyond the borders, right? Because you don't want it to happen so to be that people can't really have breached these borders. So this is something which I really liked to share with you, and if you want to participate in this network, we are more than happy to do that. Thank you very much.